What's going on, Bears Nation? It's me, G Walker. I got my partner here, CJ. Man, look, I don't know if they're doing a press conference today, but just in case, I found this by Courtney Cronin about how the Bears practice went, man. So I just want to talk about it with you guys live. What's going on in practice right now. So drop your comments, man. We can get to it. This is kind of like us all getting together in real time. You know what I'm saying? Just up close and personal about this stuff right now. So drop your comments, man. Drop your comments. Shout out to Dying to Live reposting the screen, bro. I don't think they're doing a press conference. Shout out to everybody that's in here. So I said the best thing I can do now is just to get a recap of the practice. And this is by Courtney Cronin. So CJ is going to be in here when he gets his stuff together. So just hang out with me, drop your comments, and just let me know how y'all feeling about the practice, man. Because so far, Luther Burden and Zay Frazier was not there. Burden is still dealing with injuries. Nashawn Riber with the ones doing the 707. Jalen Johnson out of his leg. Artis Trapillo with the left. He was at the left tackle doing the first team periods. Trapillo Jones and Karan were out there today. Jermaine Edmonds picked off Caleb Williams on the first play of 11 on 11, man. Then they got a comment by Dennis Allen saying he's got size, he's got range, he's got speed. It's hard to throw over him. He's got length in the middle of the field. So, drop y'all comments, man. CJ be in here in a second, so we'll get to it some more in a little bit. So hang out with me. Bears football is back. Practice is back. We got Donna Liv saying concerns about the quietness of the Burden situation. Like, yeah, man, he got his deal. He had injuries lingering before he got drafted. During he got drafted, it continues to be an issue, man. This is a thing that looks like it's going to be lingering all camp, man. So, yeah, we all got a little bit of got to be concerned about what's going on with Luka Burden right now and the injuries, bro. Then they're not really saying what's going on with Zay Frazier at the moment, too. So I'll be on here for about 30 minutes, 35 minutes, when I'll be going through Twitter or X, just looking up stuff I get from comments from certain bigger platforms with bigger voices, as far as like Courtney Cronin and Dave and all those guys. So just hang out with me for a little bit. What up, Plank? Plank says, Beard, what's going on, Plank? I gotta get you on the podcast, bro. Shout out to you, man. When I see comments, I'll come back on camera. What's going on to everybody that came into the live right now? Look, I don't think the Bears are doing I don't think they're doing a press conference. So I'm just doing the next best thing, and that is just giving the practice update of what happened at practice by Courtney Cronin, man. Luther Burden is hurt. He's not been in practice. Jermaine Edmonds picked up Caleb Williams in 11 on 11. So, leave your comments, man, if you guys want to get into this. I'll probably be on here for about 30, 35 minutes, and then we out, man. There goes CJ, everybody.
Yeah, hopefully you don't kick me out this time.
Yeah, man, it's been a crazy practice so far, man. This is what we got to the 37 people in here. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate everybody that's retweeted, that's commented already, that's reposted already. Everybody on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, man. We appreciate everybody in here right now, man. Football is here. We're live. We're back at work. So if there are any opportunities we got to come live and bring some information to you guys, we will. So just talk in with us, man. We really appreciate everybody coming through. Shout out to everybody. But this is what happening so far. So read it, drop a comment, what you don't like, what you like, what you're concerned about, all based off this from Courtney Cronin, and we can get to it. I'll be right back. This is what we're trying to get into, ladies and gentlemen, from 57 people that's in here right now. This is what we're trying to get into. Just the practice and how it went. Just the practice and how it went. Luca Burton continues to struggle doing practice, man. He's not at practice. Audrey Capillo was at left tackle with the ones. Capillo, Jones, and Armaganje was there. Caleb Williams got picked off by Tremaine Edmonds, man. So just drop your comment, man. Just drop your comment. We got Plank saying the D is looking solid this year, man. We're going to see probably Tremaine Edmonds having a redemption year, man. So that's good to see him out there getting interceptions already.
Yeah. This is probably yeah.
The fridge, the stuff. Like $800 a bedroom stuff. Miscellaneous furniture, probably another $5.
About 11.
$550. With those chairs.
playing. The defense looks good. Caleb Williams and those guys got to bring it, man. Like we have a defense that's going to be relentless, getting after the quarterback and getting after the ball. So it's not surprising that the first day of practice, that Tremaine Edmonds, being as tall as he is, as good as he's supposed to be, that he's already picking off Caleb Williams at practice, man. It is what it is, and that's something that you want to see. You don't want to see Caleb Williams getting picked off from practice all the time, because that's a problem. You kind of want an iron sharpest iron situation, and that's what the best is to hope for, that type of deal. And so the defense got the point up today. They got the point up today. But I'll be right back. I was waiting on CJ, y'all. My bad. I'm messing with the the camera angles and stuff, man. I'm waiting on CJ to get in here, man. That's all that was. I'm sorry about that, y'all. So Luther Burden did not practice today, man. Luther Burden did not practice. Going on, chat? Bears practice today, right here. Mr. Burton did not practice today. This is going to be a thing that Bears fans got to be concerned about, man. Luther Burton did not practice today, man. This is a thing, man. This is a thing. This is a thing. This is a thing. All right, Bears Nation, what's going on? It's G Walker, the C&G podcast, man, and I'm here just to talk to you guys, and we can get it in about practice a little bit. What's going on? Luther Burton not practicing his first training camp, man. I'm a little bit disappointed in this right here. I'm very disappointed in this right here, man. I'm very disappointed, man. This feels like Kevin White situation. Kevin White all over again, man. And I hope I'm wrong, you guys. What are you guys' thoughts about Luther Burden III missing his first training camp practice? Like this will get instant reaction. Let's talk about how we feel about it, what we think about it. What are y'all guys' thoughts, man? Because we knew he was hurt, we knew he was injured, we knew he had to get his deal signed and everything like that. And he got his money, he got a fully guaranteed contract. So for him not to be ready to play on the first practice of training camp, how does that sit with you guys? Like, what do you guys think about that? It's crazy. We got Plank saying, hope so too. Don't need a Kevin White playback. Yeah, man, this is alarming, man. No matter how people feel about it, this is alarming. We already got a couple of injuries. With JJ. Zay Frazier's hurt. It's a lot of people that's getting hurt already, man. And this guy's not ready for camp. First day, bro. First day, he's not ready for camp. It's crazy. Diane Liv said, I just want better communication with the situation, man. Like, they're not gonna give us better communication, bro. They're not gonna give us the communication that you think we all deserve about what's going on. We're fans, man. We're not really part of the team in that aspect to me. So they're gonna be real quiet about his injury, bro. And eventually, though, Diane and Liv, I think eventually we're gonna find out what's really going on with him, man, because is it a soft tissue issue? Is something that keeps lingering? Is coming back? Like, bro, this is a bad sign, man. Early camp reps are so important. Yeah, man, I totally agree. For a new offense, for a new scheme, he's with a new quarterback, he got an offensive line he got to get used to being around. There's a lot of stuff he got to do, man. So this isn't good at all. This isn't good at all, man. This isn't good at all, bro. This isn't good at all. It's not good. To 64 people in here, Luther Burden is probably the biggest takeaway from not being at practice today outside of Zay Frazier not practicing today either, man. Like, these guys are not ready for camp. Ben Johnson said a lot of these guys were ready to go to camp on his press conference yesterday. He said they looked like they were in shape. They did a good job on off season and during the summer. I'm not seeing any of that, man. Look at this. Zay Frazier's out. Luther Burden is out. JJ is out. You know what I mean? Injury after injury after injury, man. Like, it's starting off on the wrong foot. The wrong foot. We just hopefully that these injuries don't linger on for these guys, man. Like, what is going on? I'm gonna look to see what's going on with Zay Frazier. If you guys just want to hang around, I'm gonna see what injuries that he sustained if I can find it. So just hang out with me.
Obviously the first day of training camp, so we're not going to get too far ahead of ourselves in terms of, where we expect to be 6 weeks from now. our focus right now is just get a little bit better every single day. And that's really what we're doing. You get into training camp. Training camp's like a long, dark tunnel, right? And there's no light at the end of it. You just got to focus on one day at a time, one rep at a time, one practice at a time. I know that's cliche, but it's the truth, and that's what I want our guys to do. I don't want them to focus on the results right now. I want them to focus on the process and the things that we're going to ask them to do to get better. So that's where we're at. I thought today, for first day out there, was pretty good. I thought the retention from what we did in the spring to what we saw out there today, I was pleased with what I saw there. And yet we still got a long way to go. So we're going to keep working every day, continue to battle, and continue to improve and get this defense better.
How would you characterize the impact of Jalen Johnson's absence for him here over these next several weeks, and then for you as you're trying to put this defense together during camp?
Yeah, look, I think number one is I know Jalen's going to do everything he can to get himself back and get himself ready as quickly as possible. He's a consummate professional. So I feel good about him being ready when his body's ready to go. So from that standpoint, not a ton of concern there.
And I had to find this. They didn't even go live. I didn't even get a notification. So
really
I think Cole Komet went up here. So
the guys that we have out here right now, we're going to work on coaching the hell out of them and getting those guys better. And look, sometimes you have to face some adversity. And how do you overcome that? And we'll get a good opportunity to see, who wants to step up in his absence. So, so that's where we're at on that.
How nice was it for you to see Tremaine gelling with the rest of the guys here in the short term?
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously we'd love for him to be out there. That's not the way it is right now. And so we're not going to get into, what the consequences of that are or anything like that. We're going to focus on, just like I said earlier, we're going to focus on each and every day, coaching the hell out of the guys that are out here, getting those guys better. And then when Jalen's out there, he'll add a lot to our defense.
One thing that Ben was talking about,
I'll come back to you.
come back in.
Yeah.
One of the things Ben talked about yesterday was just learning game management. And that's something that you never really have to do until you become a head coach. In your own experience, how did you learn that? And is there any substitute for experience, even if it's a preseason game?
No, look, I mean, I think this number one is he's incredibly intelligent. He understands the game. And I think really from an offensive standpoint, there's a lot of game management that goes on within play calling as an offensive coordinator. So I think he's had a lot of experience in that regard. Certainly there's some veteran coaches on his staff that can help him in that way. There's some other guys within the building that he's got in place that can help him there. But I wouldn't concern myself with that too much. He'll be just fine.
When you were a young coach,
shout out to Chicago fan for reposting, and I had to find this, bro. I didn't get notification.
Exactly the same things that he just talked about yesterday in his press conference. You're watching tape and you're trying to put yourself through as many of those scenarios as you can as you're watching tape. When we're out here at practice, you're putting yourself through those scenarios. But ultimately, there's no substitute for being in live battle and being able to do those things. So, just like anything else, all of us as coaches, when I first started calling defensive plays, I feel like I'm much further along than I was on day one as a defense coordinator. So that experience has helped me in that way. And I think that'll help Ben as he goes through as a head coach.
How nice was it to see Tremaine start off with an interception? What kind of playmaker do you think that he can be?
Yeah, I'm anticipating him being an exceptional playmaker for us. He's got size, he's got range, he's got speed, a lot of the things that we're going to look for in terms of it. Look, it's hard to throw over him. He's got a lot of length there in the middle of the field. So I'm excited to see what he can do. And obviously that was a good start. But we got a long way to go.
Were you moving Tremaine and TJ kind of across the formation?
Yeah, I think in particular early on in camp, I think it's important that you cross-train guys because you only have 53 guys on game day, and you're probably going to have about 22 defensive players to carry into a game. And so injuries happen. You have to make adjustments within the course of the game. And so the more guys that we have that can play multiple spots and do multiple things, the better we're going to be. Ultimately, what we want to be able to do is we want to be able to put our best 11 on the field. And so to do that, you have to be able to cross-train some guys so you can mix and match and put guys in different positions.
And it's just that when the offense started kind of individual drills, it looked like the defense as a whole was doing up downs for a while.
That's correct.
What can you explain what was behind
I think this. I think it's all part of building the culture of what type of defense that we're going to be, and you have to pay the toll. You have to pay the price.
You
It's
gotta
a
pay the
privilege to be on
price.
this
There you
defense.
go, coach. You gotta
and
pay
so,
the price.
We've been doing that on every defense that I've been associated with since 2009, and it's a way to mentally train players to be tough and push through adversity. Training camp's going to be difficult, and we're going to have to be able to overcome when we're tired. How do we focus? How do we concentrate? How do we dig down deep inside and rise up and make plays in critical situations of the game? And a lot of times that comes with being tired. So it's all just part of, as much as training them physically, it's about training them mentally.
it? It looked like Shamar tweaked something kind of into practice there. Was he okay?
I have no idea. I saw him
Me
kind
too,
of get
bro.
rolled up a little bit.
Had
He
them
looked
boys
like he
doing
got
up
up. He looked like he was fine, but
Had them doing
I haven't
up
heard
there.
anything from a medical standpoint.
I know you said that you'll be rotating some guys and getting guys to look at positions, but to get right to get the 1 reps today in Jalen's spot, what did he show you, I guess, or what did he spot early?
Well, I think first and foremost, he was here all offseason, and he was in that position all offseason. And so, look, I look at the depth chart right now as just a starting
I
spot.
do this for us, Bears
I
Nation.
really don't
do
look
this
at
for
it
us.
as anything that's set in
I can get
any
notifications
sort of
at all.
concrete or anything like that. You'll see throughout the course of training camp, you'll see some guys that get kind of moved around, switched around. Sometimes we might want to see a guy that's been running with the twos. We might want to see him against the ones just to see maybe against a little bit better competition how they respond. I just think that's just part of what we do within the course of training camp.
And what have you seen from the girls during the spring? What do you expect?
Well, look, I mean, honestly, we didn't see a lot of him in the spring. He was coming off the injury. He's worked extremely hard to get himself back. I'm excited about seeing what he can do. And look, I think he's got some of the characteristics that we're looking for in our corners. Okay, he's got size, he's got speed, he's got length. And those are things that I think are important to play that position for us in our style of defense. And so, look, we're going to let these guys go out and compete really at every single position, and then let the chips fall where they may.
Do you want to see a vocal leader emerge? Is that important to you?
Well, I think the
And I
best
think
defenses
Cole
that
Kmet
or
was
best
up here, guys.
teams that
We're
I've
a
ever
little bit
been
behind
on
because I didn't get a notification.
have been player-driven,
I couldn't go
player-led.
live right away, so
And so,
got Cole Kmet coming up.
but I think that has to happen naturally. I don't think that's anything that you try to force to happen. I do think we have some guys on our team that have some leadership qualities, and it's kind of our job as coaches to try to foster that a little bit. Give them some freedom to make some checks, make some adjustments, see how they handle it. But I feel good about the type of guys that we have in our building. I think we have a lot of guys that love football, a lot of guys that are willing to work, a lot of guys that are willing to sacrifice for each other and for the team. And I think those are things that we're gonna need to count on throughout the course of the season.
What's your defense getting in Tano as a pass rusher? What was your input in terms of your pass with him?
Well, I think this, we signed Tano and we also signed Trey Flowers. Both of those guys have experience within this system. Tano with me in New Orleans. Trey was with Brian Nilsson in Atlanta and then in Jacksonville. So I think having guys that have some familiarity with what we're doing defensively, especially when you bring them in, in training camp, the ramp up period in terms of mentally understanding what we're trying to get accomplished, becomes a little bit quicker in that regard. So, look, I like Tano. Again, he's got a lot of the traits that we're looking for, size, length. You guys are going to hear me say that a lot. I mean, I think that's important in the game of football today. And so he's just another piece that we get to add in to create as much potential competition as we can. I think we've got a couple of young guys that I'm excited to work with, at the defensive end position too. So I think if we continue to work and continue to improve, I think that position I'm talking about the defensive line has a chance to be a strength of ours.
Dennis, Tyrann Mathieu retired the other day. What was it like coaching him, and what did he mean specifically to your defense?
Yeah, he was outstanding. I was a little surprised to see that last night, but yet that person, that player, for him to be able to go out on his terms, I think he has every right to be able to do that. And it was extreme pleasure to be able to have an opportunity to work with him, not just as a football player, as a teammate, but also the type of guy that he became, the type of man he became. I got nothing but good things to say about Tyrann Mathieu. Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys.
And I think we got
Grody is at Hallis Hall. He was there today. He filed.
Big Cole Komet came up there. Hold on 1 second. I'll pull it up 1 second. I got to find a Cole Komet one, but that was Dennis Allen, everybody. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, but what did you guys think of the Dennis Allen right there? Let me see if I can find Cole Komet. Then I'm going to get up out of here, everybody. Hold on. So, CJ, what do you think about this right here? While I'm looking for the Cole Komet interview, CJ, what you think about Luther Burden III right here, man, and injuries and Oswald Chapillo? Like, what do you think about all this stuff right here, CJ?
Well, for Luther Burden III to be hurt right now is kind of bad for him because he's a rookie trying to come in, trying to put his step.
Yeah, everybody. I'm looking for the Cole Komet one. Hold on 1 second. I don't see it. I think Cole Komet just finished. Hopefully I can find it. CJ, you good, man?
Yeah, man, they just keep kicking me out. It's gonna keep kicking me out like every minute or so.
Yeah. So what's going on, everybody? It's G Walker here at CNG Podcast and CJ, man. What we're doing right now is going over the practice of what just happened. Luther Burden III is hurt. Pillow was with the ones. Caleb Williams got picked off. And if you just missed it, we had Dennis Allen on his press conference talking about the defense and how, everybody's got to compete, everybody got to earn. Speaking about Jalen Johnson being gone and why we got Trey Flowers and everything like that. So Dennis Allen, he was really good up there, man. He just said exactly what needed to be said. No more, no less, no fluff. Just him getting to the point, telling the truth, and saying exactly what's going on in camp. And he pretty much gave Tremaine Edmonds his flowers, man, as far as like him being big. He's tall, he's got size, he got range. So right now, guys, if you're in here right now, I'm just looking for the Cole Kmet press conference. I didn't get a notification that they did go live. I don't know if you guys did, but I'm just keep looking for it. So just drop your comments right now about this stuff right here, or what have you heard about practice? What are you disappointed about practice? Caleb Williams getting kicked off, is that a concerning aspect right now for you guys? Let me know. I'll be right back.
I mean, I've played, I think 17 games now, and those are a little bit more strenuous. And I'm not going to say more important because practice is, probably equal.
Probably Caleb Williams, but just in case you haven't seen the
that goes
Caleb
on the
Williams
record.
press conference yesterday, I'm just
we've
putting
had
this up here while
we've
I
had
look
some
at
up and
Caleb,
downs in games
Cole Kmet.
myself and team wise, and so I think all of last year was great for us and great for me to be able to manage these next 6 weeks, so about 6 weeks. I think it's gonna be fun too. That's the fun part about it, is having these up and downs and figuring out a way to manage those and deal with them, and come back the next day or next play or next drive, next situation that we have, and go out there and execute and be that guy that and teammate that they depend on and believe in for those moments.
What are you most pumped up about this camp for?
Really just to get out there with the guys. Pads come on. It's been a while. So pads come on and you get to get out there and enjoy, have fun. And then other than that, I mean, it's going to be the hotel lobbies and playing cards and Uno and all these different things that, in the moment when you're in this for 6 weeks, it's long days, challenging days. But when you look back on it, those are the moments that that really mean the most to you, your teammates, and something that, at the end of the season that you kind of reminisce on.
Caleb, how do you feel about the infrastructure that's in place for you right now, the coaching staff and the roster?
Yeah, it's been great. Everybody's excited, myself included. about, the infrastructure and, how everything's been set up. I know the DB coaches and things like that are great. D-line, everybody, on the other side of the ball that you don't get to speak to and really talk too much. I try my best to get to them, but, I feel great about that side. And obviously, my side of the ball, I feel awesome. We went and got Colston and, Kyle and Ozzie, and, I can keep going, Luther and all these different guys. In the draft, and obviously we had a couple free agents, which are big. We had a couple, big guys come up front. A legendary guard, and Joe, and obviously we all know his stats and all, what he's been able to do for his career. And then other than that, we got Drew and Jonah, and we brought in a bunch of guys, wide receivers, and brought some guys back, brought some new guys. So infrastructure-wise, coaches, I think we're all excited, but excitement does nothing. You got to go out there and put in the work to actually enjoy what we have.
Ben was very direct. Ben was very direct in saying that this is a race. Ready for the regular season. What do you make of that characterization of the urgency of these
key contracts? That leaves receiver Luther Burden as the only unsigned draft pick. The amount of guaranteed money has been the holdup. Rookies report to Bears camp on Saturday ahead of the vets on Tuesday. This Sunday, Hall of Famer Brian Urlacher will sail down memory lane on Lake Michigan with City Cruises. Number 54 will share some stories from the glory days of the 2006 NFC Championship run. I had a chance to catch up with Lack, who thinks the Bears will right the ship with Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams steering the way.
I like Caleb. I like what we did last year. It's hard as a rookie to come in and have success. I know there was a bunch of guys. Last year was different. The numbers he had were great. I like that he doesn't turn the ball over.
They were record-setting numbers.
Yes, he didn't turn the ball over, Ryan. Yeah. That's a big deal for me as a defensive guy to have a rookie quarterback who doesn't turn the ball over. He understands that. He's athletic. He throws the ball good. He's only going to get better and better. I'm excited for him to see what he can do under Ben Johnson because he's going to put him in position to make a lot of plays.
We've seen a lot of quarterbacks come and go, but the coaching carousel since Lovey was interject the word.
Yep. Since they fired Lovey after 10-6.
You got Trustman, Fox, Nagy, Eberflus, but now Ben Johnson. You think they finally got it right with the head coach position?
I do. I'm always a fan of. I feel like they do a good job of hiring. For some reason, it doesn't work out. It drives me crazy because I want to see them do well, but. I like Ben Johnson, but I like Dennis Allen as well. I think Dennis Allen, as a former head coach and a really good D coordinator, is going to bring some stability to that defense. Not that they need it, but they've been good for a long time. But Ben Johnson on the offensive side of the ball is going to bring something I don't think Bears fans have ever seen. Just the way he puts guys in position to make plays is really going to benefit them and what they can do well.
This time of year, you can smell it in the air, you feel it. Football's coming back, training camp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you ever get the itch that, I missed that? Or is it just like the itch?
No, no, I don't miss it. we were just talking about the weather earlier before we went on and how hot it's going to be there and how humid it is. Man, I don't miss being in full pads out in that weather. I do miss being around my teammates and my coaches and the staff and all that, but I do not miss working, practicing 3 hours a day. But it is different now. The schedule is much different than it was when I played. Good for the players, but I don't miss it at all. I enjoy being a fan now.
We're approaching 2 decades since that magical season that ended in the Super Bowl. But my mind goes back to Soldier Field, NFC Championship, you holding up the Hallis Trophy as the snow's coming down with Mrs. McCaskey there, God rest her soul. What are some of the stories you're going to share with the folks who are fortunate enough to be on that cruise along Lake Michigan?
What you just said, that's probably my fondest memory of my career, standing there at Soldier Field on that platform with Miss McCaskey, Lovey was there, Rex was up there, I think Alex was up there too, and we're receiving the George House Trophy in front of our fans after we just beat the Saints. What a cool feeling. Just that season, some of the games we had, some of the situations we were in, just a great season all the way around. I talk about some of the teammates, some of the plays they made, but it was a fun season.
Be nice to see that again at Soldier Field. Urlacher will be joined by former teammates Alex Brown and Rex Grossman on the City Cruises live event to party.
What's going on, everybody? Looking for the co-commit interview, couldn't find it, so I don't know what's going on with that. So I might be live in a second. One more.
everywhere at the start of practice. Obviously, you want to check and see who's out there and who's not first, right?
Marshall, I am going to, if you don't mind, Marshall.
Yeah, I don't mind at all.
I'm going to rattle off a bunch of in no particular order here. I'm just looking at the notes on my phone. Let me just tell you, how things have gone so far. Had an hour plus practice. Just came inside a little while ago. We heard from Dennis Allen. Cole Kmet just spoke. TJ Edwards is going to speak. And so this is
all these guys are
perfect.
talking right now.
Literally just walked out of the interview room into the NFL Network room where I'm speaking to you fine people. So here are my unedited notes. There was no Luther Burden out there today. Just so people, just to bring you back, he had some soft tissue issues, right when he came in here for the preseason program and everything. So he still was not out there. I didn't even spot him. Now, that doesn't mean he didn't pop out there at some point in time, but I did not see number 87 on the field here today. So no Luther Burden. Zay Frazier, one of the guys that I have talked about as potentially being a training camp hero, was not present today. Braxton Jones and Colson Loveland were both out here in ramp-up mode. Now, more notes. Caleb Williams's first pass in 11 on 11, guys, an interception by Tremaine Edmonds, which some people thought would have been an easy pick six if things were full speed. Another note here, Ben Johnson, about an hour into the practice, first unit lining up out there in 11 on 11, getting ready to go. They botched something, and then they botched it again. Ben Johnson, we got yelling from Ben Johnson, and he benched the first unit. He did like a line change. He's like, get out of here, sit down. And he brings in the next line.
The whole first unit, the entire offense.
Yeah, that was it. Like, bring on in the Case Keenum line. And by the way, Layla, Case Keenum, the second string quarterback today.
That's big news. Also, he carried a massive suitcase to Hallis Hall, and I was wondering what is in the suitcase. But the older you get, the more you travel with.
That's true.
Okay, so I before you get to the other updates here, I think it's important to point out, I didn't know that it was the first pass where Caleb Williams threw it and Tremaine Edmonds picked it off. That's
first
what
pass.
Was the reaction? What was the reaction like when that happened? Like out of Caleb Williams and out of the defense?
No, as you can imagine, and there's a healthy group of reporters out here, dozens of us, and the reaction was, really? That was the reaction. It was like, come on, you got to be kidding. Like, here we are, we're all back, and there's an interception thrown by Caleb Williams. So I don't think it's symbolic of anything. Unfortunately, like in terms of, oh boy, the Caleb ain't there yet. It just sort of sucked that's the way it started. And it's fun that you mentioned, Layla, that you didn't know that was the first pass. I actually, at first I didn't know either. I was like, that was his first pass of the damn day, wasn't it? And yes, so that was his first pick of the day. And on the overall, it was just an okay day for the offense. I didn't necessarily think the defense shined that much either. Like, it's not like this is one of those days where I'm going to sit here and tell you the defense dominated, but there were no real big highlights from the Caleb Williams offense. There was a really nice connection out here, like play of the day, Tyson Bagent to the rookie JP Richardson out of TCU, a sweet catch and a bang play. So if you needed an offensive highlight, that was it for sure. One thing on the defense here, guys, too, I thought it was interesting. Tyreek Stevenson, of course, starting at one cornerback like he had and still continues to do without Jalen Johnson today. Nashawn Wright was the cornerback on the other side. And, look, we just talked to Dennis Allen, and he was talking about how size is a big deal to him, especially with cornerbacks. And Nashawn Wright, 6'4", fourth-year player out of Oregon State, fits that bill. So it wasn't Terrell Smith, who Dennis Allen said was not as available during the preseason program and has been banged up a little bit. So I think that was interesting too.
Ben Johnson benching the entire offense is basically a Bears meatball move. Like, isn't that basically something a caller has said? Like, I'm benching the whole offense. He did it.
Yeah, he did it. He did it. That's an old. It actually reminded me of guys.
This whole
when
offense
Tom
the first day of
Thibodeau
practice,
was,
man. You gotta
I think
love
it was,
Ben Johnson,
was
bro. He is
Thibodeau,
not fucking around.
who at one point in time during his Bulls tenure just sat every one of his starters, like back when things were really good for the Bulls, because I just put in a bunch of no names and just left them in there for the rest of the half. That's what it reminded me of. But in this case, I should be very clear. It was like the first string came right back on. They didn't send them to the sideline or anything like that. It was just, all right, get out of here. You know, you guys, you botched this twice. We didn't get the specifics of it. Ben Johnson didn't speak today. Cole Kmet was up there, and we're like, he was sort of enabled with the question that he was asked. Was like, oh, is this like a new installation issue? And Cole just looked at us and said, we screwed up. We should have known what was going on there. So so the players took some culpability.
They're not
in botching
rookies,
whatever
man.
was going on.
That's
But
what I'm saying,
man, I mean,
bro.
the carryover, because I wanted to see, like, Ben Johnson set the template in the OTAs and the minicamp and all that stuff. And one of the themes was literally his voice. And there it was again today, man. He had a red ass today when he was like, he had seen enough in that moment.
I love that, because Ben Johnson, as collected as he's been, we've seen now several instances of him stepping in and stopping what's going wrong. And that's all I ask for. That's like the baseline, because that's something that clearly did not happen this time last year. So I want to know, with Dennis Allen specifically, what was his message? What stood out to him on day one? Because we often talk about the offense. So much has been put on Ben Johnson. But, hey, Dennis Allen's a new coach. He's a defensive coordinator, and we're expecting big things, or at least better things, from this defense.
Yeah, no doubt, Marshall. I mean, and just to add to the point that you were making in terms of the coaching, and the coaching has to be able to identify what is wrong, to be able to stop the play and yell. Sometimes you wonder, with the previous regime, did they know that the team had screwed up? Did they know that the plays needed to be stopped? Did they know that there needed to be some culpability? But at some point in time, I will officially stop talking or comparing things to the 2024 season. As far as Dennis Allen, man, I've talked to Dennis Allen previously, being out here. This was the first time. Like, now we're in a different mode. He got up there, and look, as we all know, Dennis Allen was a head coach. He truly carries himself with the confidence and the poise and just the way he speaks. He does, like, you could tell he's been a head coach. He came up there today and he was like, man, this is the beginning. Liked what we saw. Love that Tremaine Edmonds had the interception, but there's a long way to go. Dennis Allen was asked about Jalen Johnson and said, obviously, we don't like him not being here, but he said the right things in terms of, we know that we have good depth here, and we're gonna make the most of things without Jalen Johnson for right now. He's still, no update on that, by the way. He's still on that 3-week timetable, which Ryan Poles shared with us yesterday. But more specifically too on Dennis Allen, Marshall, I mean, he talked about, because we talked about Tremaine Edmonds and maybe changing positions, and TJ Edwards. Both those guys were kind of cross training today, playing both positions. So yeah. So that, I mean, I think we're going to see TJ Edwards in that middle spot. I think that was made pretty clear. I think that he is the guy that can be most effective there. But for whatever it's worth, Dennis Allen was straight up and saying, yeah, there's some cross training going on with those guys.
Just to clarify, Mark, you said 3 weeks. That was a very specific time for Jalen Johnson. The quote was a few weeks. Have we narrowed it down to 3?
You know what? I'm glad you clarified that. When I hear few, I just translate that to 3 weeks. So I probably should have generalized and used few. So I'll go back.
Oh, I was excited because 3 weeks I can do it.
No, yeah. Few. Isn't that technically, like, if you looked up the word few in the dictionary?
Several times in my life. I've looked up few, I've looked up several. It's a small number of.
It's a small number of.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's not like a specific.
Okay.
Clever if you're the one phrasing it and people are asking for a hard timeline. Clever.
Yeah. I'm a clever guy. Clever, or as they say in Jurassic Park, clever girl.
and then he dies.
Yeah, I mean,
spoiler alert.
I can't stand it. Yeah, I can't stand the Jurassic Park movies. I have too much anxiety in my life. I don't need all that. I don't need to worry about dinosaurs. I can't worry about dinosaurs running around the earth. I have no time for this.
Layla, I don't have time for dinosaurs. Damn it.
I don't. I do not. Like I saw several spiders on my commute today, walking around the sidewalk because it's spider season. That's all I'm dealing with right now. Okay.
Oh my God! How would I think you up a good Triceratops or maybe a Stegosaurus, maybe a Brontosaurus?
Can we get a nice dinosaur like a Brontosaurus or something who's like slow and you see him coming and he eats plants?
Well, Layla, see, that's the thing. In every Jurassic Park movie, there's a nice Brontosaurus part where you see the herbivores out in the yonder harmlessly howling up and just the beautiful scenery in Costa Rica. I'm very hurt that you're not a Jurassic Park fan, Layla.
No, I saw one and that was enough for me. I don't need to have him come back all the time. I don't need to make the Mesozoic era great again.
I'm kind of with her on the whole not watching Jurassic Park, but just the part about I don't need them to come back.
Yeah, and of course it's through a mosquito. Don't get me started on them as disease carriers.
Oh,
No,
man,
none of
that
this.
Was
None of it.
That was pretty fancy the way they did all that with the amber and the whatnot. So,
yeah, exactly. I don't need any of that. These things already scare me. I don't need them in my real life.
You know what?
I'm trying to avoid spiders on my walk today.
When I come in on Friday, guys, let's talk Triassic period.
I like it.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see you Friday, Grody.
Yeah, it's been a while. I miss you.
You've been
guys.
ducking me, but that's okay.
We'll let you get back
Well.
to collecting more important Bears interviews, Mark. Thank you for your time and your
I'm
service.
not ducking you. Marshall actually ducked me.
What's going on, everybody? Look, I'm about to end the live right now. Was looking for the Cole Komet and the TJ Edwards live. I don't see anywhere on YouTube. I don't see none of it live right now. But I did want to bring up, what Courtney Cronin had to say about the Bears' first practice about Luther Burden III is not there. Zaire Frazier wasn't there today. Aja Pachilla was at left tackle along with Braxton Jones and Karan, just like we all predicted. Tremaine Edmonds he picked up Caleb Williams on the first play of the day on 11-on-11. Picked off. Caleb Williams picked off. I don't know how much you guys can read it into that. I'm not going to read into it that much, but that's something that you don't want to hear necessarily the first day of camp, first practice, that the QB gets picked off, man. But my intentions was good today, man. I appreciate 140 people that actually pulled up to the live. Doing these press conferences live, it's almost like you guys are with me and my crew. We just sit back and watch together, react together, instant reaction. So that's what I was looking for again today. But the only one I could pull up if you were in here to see it was the Dennis Allen one. He talked about how good Tremaine Edmonds was. He talked about the reason why Trey Flowers was signed. Talked about the guy that we signed, the new guy, Tona. Talked about him. Who's actually, I think, is a Super Bowl winner too. So it was cool to see Dennis Allen get up there and talk about what he expects from the defense, who's playing what. And it's the next man up type of mentality, man. That's what Dennis Allen, part of his message was. Great confidence in this guy, man. Dennis Allen, like he's no joke. He's ready to play. I mean, not ready to play, he's ready to coach. And it's about business, man. Guys got to get ready. Like I said before, we're going to see who was in shape. We're going to see who was ready to play. And so far with these injuries, we can already tell that who wasn't ready to play, who wasn't ready to practice. Guys just getting hurt, you know what I mean? So, it's unfortunate, but at the same time, it's better for some of this stuff to happen now than later on in the season, you know what I mean? But it's just unfortunate about Luther Burden III. Everybody is hyped up about him. Seems to be like he's going to be a stud when he gets healthy, but his health right now has not been the best since he's been drafted since college. So, Luther Burden, man, we hope you get better. We hope you heal up. We hope to see you out there, man. Hopefully he's not gone and misses a lot of reps. And for training camp and practice, hopefully he gets back pretty soon, but you never know with these type of injuries. The Chicago Bears are not being clear. They're not going to communicate what necessarily what's wrong with him. They're going to protect him. So until it's something really, really serious, I don't think we're going to hear too much about it until they actually find out what's going on with him. So it's another situation where you just stand by and wait to see what happens with Luther Burden. But it's cool to see that the competition at left tackle, like Ben Johnson was saying, is basically it's a competition. Audrey Trapillo played a lot of right tackle. Audrey Trapillo played a lot of position offensive line. You know, Braxton Jones is the number one left tackle, the guy that's played a bunch of games, that's been the starter the last few years. And you got Karan, who didn't really get a chance to be what some of us thought he could be, you know, along with Chris Morgan and him not getting reps. So it's up, man. It's a competition. It is what it is. Case Keenum was the second QB today. And I told people before, like, Tyson Badger's not going to be the second QB, man. Tyson Badger will be the third quarterback. It is what it is on that level. And with that being said, I'm G Walker, the CNG Podcast. We appreciate you guys coming in. CJ was trying to be in here, but again, he had technical difficulties, man. So it is what it is on that. So thank you for everybody that pulled up today, man. I know some of you guys are at work, some of you guys are on your lunch break. Hopefully, you know, I can provide a little bit of fun, you know what I'm saying, in the middle of the day for you. Hop on the Twitter page, you see CNG Podcast Live, and it's about the Bears. And, you know, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. But with that being said, I'm going to get up out of here, man. I tried my best to get all of the press conferences live for us, man, but the Bears and their team put notifications and showing stuff they didn't do too well today. So try my best to give us something, Bear Nation. With that being said, I'm out. God bless you guys. Peace. One love.